Get ready for a massive shakeup in the pharmaceutical world as Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer join forces with Mark Cuban cost-plus drug company. Starting April 27, 2026, the vital blood thinner Eliquis will be available directly on cost-plus drugs.com for a flat 30-day supply price of $345. This move is all about cutting through the noise and giving cash-paying patients a transparent, affordable way to access the medication they depend on every single day.
Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
The political heat is rising over the breakup Big Medicine Act as billionaire Mark Cuban challenges Senator Bernie Sanders to back the legislation. This bill aims to stop massive healthcare conglomerates from owning everything from insurance plans to pharmacy benefit managers and medical providers all under one roof. If passed, it could force giants like United Health Group and CVS Health to split their businesses to boost competition and finally drive down your out-of-pocket costs. Mark Cuban is also firing back at the entire health insurance industry, calling out major players for acting more like financial firms than true risk managers. He is pushing a bold, account-based model that encourages families to redirect their premiums into interest-bearing accounts for medical spending, rather than losing it to insurer overhead. By leveraging tools like AI to analyze complex contracts, he argues we can strip away the billing fraud and complexity that turns hospitals into lenders. Finally, see how a Mark Cuban-backed startup called Remento is using artificial intelligence to help families preserve their history forever. By turning raw voice recordings into professionally written physical books, founder Charlie Green is helping people capture stories from their elderly relatives that might otherwise be lost. It is a powerful example of tech used for good. So if you want more updates on how the world is changing, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell for all the latest alerts. Ever feel like your life-saving medication costs more than your monthly car payment? For millions of Americans, that's not just a frustration, it's a daily reality. But today, we're seeing a major shift in the pharmaceutical landscape. Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer have officially announced a groundbreaking collaboration with the Mark Cuban cost-plus drug company to make Eliquis, one of the most widely prescribed blood thinners in the nation, available directly through their platform. Think about the impact here. We aren't just talking about a minor discount. We're talking about transparency in a market that's notoriously opaque. Starting April 27, 2026, cash-paying patients can access a 30-day supply of Eliquis for $345. Mark Cuban has been loud and clear about this. People shouldn't have to play guessing games when it comes to the price of a drug they literally depend on to survive. By cutting out the middleman, they're aiming to strip away those hidden layers that drive costs through the roof. Now, why does this matter for the average person? Beyond the cost savings, it's about accessibility and control. Eliquis is vital for managing atrial fibrillation and preventing stroke or blood clots, and when you can buy it directly, you're putting the power back in your own hands. The Alliance notes that for every 100,000 patients treated, this drug has helped save an estimated $3 billion in broader healthcare costs. Think fewer hospitalizations and less rehab time. That is a massive win for public health. Of course, keep in mind that this is a prescription medication with serious safety considerations, including risks of bleeding. Always consult your doctor before making changes to your treatment plan, and never stop or alter your dosage without medical guidance. Ultimately, this move feels like a genuine step toward fixing a broken system. It's a classic case of big pharma meeting disruptor tech to actually help the end user. I want to hear your take. Is this the future of drug pricing, or just a small bandage on a much larger wound? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that actually impact your wallet. Remember, being informed is the first step toward better health, so stay curious and take care of yourselves. What if the reason your medical bills are skyrocketing isn't just inflation, but a broken, monopolized system? Imagine a world where the company that provides your insurance also owns the pharmacy that fills your pills and the clinic that treats you. It sounds like a conflict of interest waiting to happen, right? Well, that is exactly the system we are living in today. And now, billionaire entrepreneur Mark Cuban is calling out Senator Bernie Sanders in a heated debate over a piece of legislation that could change everything: the Break Up Big Medicine Act. This isn't your average political squabble. Introduced in 2026 by Senators Elizabeth Warren and Josh Hawley, this bipartisan bill is designed to take a sledgehammer to the massive consolidation in our healthcare supply chain. Right now, the stats are staggering. 3 pharmacy benefit managers control roughly 80% of U.S. prescription drug claims, and just 3 wholesalers handle 98% of drug distribution. When a handful of companies hold all the cards, they set the prices, and you pay the bill. Mark Cuban took to X to challenge Sanders, arguing that until we break up these massive conglomerates, forcing them to choose between being an insurer, a provider, or a pharmacy manager, any broader healthcare reform is just putting a bandage on a bullet hole. He even pointed to horror stories of patients being dropped by insurance over pennies, arguing that this structural rot is the root cause of our financial pain. So, what does this mean for your bank account? If this bill passes, we could see major players like United Health and CVS forced to split apart. The goal? To inject real competition into a system that currently operates like a closed loop. While the legislative outcome is still up in the air, the message for you is clear. Don't just wait for Washington to fix your finances. Start looking into health savings accounts, get comfortable negotiating those medical bills, and stay sharp on your insurance coverage. Ultimately, whether this bill becomes law or not, understanding the system is your best defense against rising costs. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that subscribe button and let us know in the comments. Do you think breaking up big medicine is the key to cheaper care? Stay proactive, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next one. Ever feel like your health insurance premiums are just disappearing into a black hole while your actual coverage gets thinner? You aren't alone, and billionaire entrepreneur Mark Cuban thinks the entire system is rigged against you. Cuban recently went on the offensive, blasting the major health insurance giants for acting less like healthcare providers and more like sophisticated financial machines. His argument: these companies don't make their massive profits by improving your health. They make them through arbitrage, exploiting weak contract enforcement, and playing the administrative system to their advantage. In his words, many of these insurers aren't actually providing value. They're just middlemen harvesting fees. But Cuban isn't just complaining. He's proposing a total disruption. He's floated a model that would basically turn your monthly insurance bill into a personal asset. Instead of throwing thousands of dollars a year into the insurance void, he suggests a structure where most of that money goes into a restricted use account for your own medical spending. You use a small slice for stop-loss coverage, a safety net for the really bad stuff, and another small chunk for direct primary care. The kicker: if you don't spend that money, it stays yours, earns interest, and grows until you hit 65. Think about that. Instead of a monthly expense that vanishes, you're building a health nest egg. Cuban believes stripping out the insurance-driven billing complexity and administrative fraud could slash healthcare costs by 20 to 30%. He even went as far as to say that hospitals have essentially become subprime lenders because high deductibles force families into debt just to get the care they need. He's also urging you to take control right now. If you have an insurance contract you don't fully understand, he suggests using AI tools like Claude to parse the fine print. He bluntly stated, "You are not smart if you don't run your insurance contracts through an LLM." Is the insurance industry truly an outdated middleman, or is Cuban's plan a fantasy that ignores the reality of modern medicine? I want to hear your take. Drop a comment below, and let me know if you trade your current plan for a personal, interest-bearing health account. Don't forget to hit subscribe for more deep dives into the systems that shape your life. After all, the most expensive thing you can own is a system you don't understand. How often do you find yourself wishing you had just one more conversation with someone you've lost? We live in an era where we document our lunch, our outfits, and our travel, Yet the most important archives, our parents' life stories, often vanish into thin air. That's the problem Charlie Green is solving with his startup, Remento, a company that recently caught the eye of Mark Cuban on Shark Tank. But this isn't just another tech gimmick. It's a deeply personal mission born from tragedy. Charlie was only 10 years old when his father, Don Green, perished on Flight 93 during the 9/11 attacks. For decades, Charlie was left with nothing but old home videos to bridge the gap between memory and reality. Years later, when his mother was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer, Charlie didn't just want to hope for the best. He wanted to capture her history before it was too late. When he started asking her questions, he expected a somber, morbid experience. Instead, he found something transformative. His mother actually loved being asked about her life. That discovery sparked Remento. The premise is simple but brilliant. The service sends elderly relatives weekly prompts or photos. They record their answers, and AI weaves those transcripts into a beautifully crafted physical book, complete with QR codes that let you hear their actual voices. It's technology serving humanity, not the other way around. Now, I know what you're thinking. Skepticism toward AI is at an all-time high. People are worried about job displacement and the cold, mechanical nature of algorithms. But here's the interesting part. When you use AI to bridge a human connection rather than replace it, the narrative changes. Even competitors like Kindred Tales are seeing a massive surge in users opting for AI-assisted storytelling. It turns out that when a chatbot can act as a gentle, curious interviewer that never gets tired or impatient, people open up in ways they never would with a pen and paper. Charlie Green isn't trying to replace the human element. He's using tech to remove the friction that keeps us from talking to the people we love. It's a powerful reminder that while we can't stop time, we can certainly choose what we preserve. If you have the chance today, call a parent or a grandparent and just ask them one question about their childhood. You might be surprised by how much they have to say. What's one story about your family you wish you had written down? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to hit subscribe for more stories on how tech is changing our lives for the better.